Well, hey everyone, Andy Serwich here from the Dojo, and I'm joined today by Ian Luckett, one of our authors on the MSP Dojo. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, Andy. Very good. Thank you very much. How are things with you?
Things are going well. I can't complain too much. There's definitely lots going on in the world, and not just the world, but generally the MSP part of the world as well, right? And that's, I'm sure you know that you're kind of, how do I want to put it? Elbows deep in the MSP world on a day-to-day basis, right?
I'll tell you what, it seems like everyone's woken up, at the time of recording with January 22. And it's like everyone's woken up. The pandemic's nearly gone. And let's get cracking and let's grow some businesses this year. It's what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling, which is really nice. Great place to be. And that's what we're here for today.
Definitely, yeah. So, I mean, speaking of growing businesses, obviously marketing is a huge part of that, right? And I mean,
yeah.
If I go back to my MSP days and I put my MSP hat back on, I actually did spend some time as a technical resource on a marketing team for an MSP. And traditionally, it's a really difficult thing for most MSPs, right? And I mean, why do you think that is? Why is it so difficult for MSPs? I mean, I'm sure I can give my spin on it, but I'd love, being as you work with MSPs on this every day, I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
So it's a really interesting one. So, we help MSPs to work on their business rather than technically in it, which is around the sales and marketing leadership side of things, business performance, all of that kind of stuff, just as a bit of context. And for us, the reason that we do it is because we know that 90% of MSPs are led by techie business owners, people who have grown up with the tech. Probably started in your bedroom, fixing a computer, and then all of a sudden you know that there's 3 or 4 people sitting around you and your business is growing, and then, oh my God, now I've got 10, 15 people and whatever kind of recurring revenue. The reason that this is tricky is because most MSP owners think of things technically. They're very high S, high C on the DISC scale. They're very on and off. I need to be in a process. This is good. My happy place is fixing stuff. Okay. It's not relating it to the business world and the business outcomes. Now, to caveat that, if you're an MSP and you're selling to a CIO or a CTO or someone technically, yes, you can have technical conversations all day long. But for most MSPs who are selling to B2B, you're selling to the business owner, and the trick here is that why people struggle with it is they get some content, as we've kind of mentioned, either from Microsoft or from someone else who's created it. They just throw it out, and they just kind of hope it'll work. Well, it doesn't, because we need to tailor it and we need to make it related to their business problems. And this is the first part. This is the bit we talk to everyone in our programs about. It's about what's the business outcome. Tell me what pain I'm in for you to fix, and that's when we start with the right messaging. So that's the kind of like the main thing that we hear, and we know that's the challenge in the MSP space.
Yeah, that makes all kinds of sense, because like you said, most MSP business owners tend to be very technical, and when you look at things, when you look at a business issue technically, well, it's like, okay, I'm going to use A, B, C, X, Y, and Z to solve that problem, right? And the customer doesn't necessarily care the how. They just, they just want their printer to work or their email to flow or whatever the issue is, right? And so yeah, again, putting myself back in the seat of an MSP, it's, you get that partner content from Microsoft that Microsoft puts out to help assist their partners with marketing, right? And like you mentioned, it's so easy because, MSPs are MSPs and not marketers by trade. It's so easy to just reshare and ultimately it just ends up being noise, right?
Yeah. And that's because it's not relevant. It's not relevant to the target market. So let me give you some examples. Okay. So you're selling Office 365. Okay. Great product, Microsoft, blah, 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 all these functions. I don't care. I'm interested in business productivity, making sure that my team can connect up, they can get access to the network, access to the data, they can talk properly, they can communicate, they can plan, they can project manage. Those are the words we want to hear. You talk about cybersecurity. Again, I don't really care. I don't care about firewalls, but I want to make sure my data is safe, secure. I can recover it if something goes wrong, and I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to even think. I don't know how to think about it. The standard kind of business owner, And then likewise, when you're looking at other things like, even if you did go down to kind of like some of the web and some of the application side of things, they don't care if you're using Dynamics or any of these other technologies around it. They want to know I can build up my own CRM that's going to help me convert more clients, get more clients, keep more clients, get better employees, improve the productivity. Those are the words that we want to bring out. Rather than the tech, I rant about this all the time. And I'm glad you told me at the beginning the timescale for this show, because you could pop off now for your dinner and I'll still be here when you get back, mate.
Fair enough. It's one of those topics for sure. I'm with you. I'm on board.
Yeah. And this is the thing. So if you were to get something from Microsoft or from Content MX or anyone like that, you're tailoring it to your specific niche or to a problem that's going on in the world right now would be great. So if you're in cyber, if you've got a cyber or a security element, keeping an eye out for when people get hacked, and then jumping on the back of that bandwagon and saying, hey, this airline has recently had a breach because of X, Y, and Z. Right, now here's a piece we wrote about how you could prevent that from happening in your business.
Right.
Great. Right. Nothing about what system you're using, nothing about how you're going to deploy it or anything like that. It's just making that relevant. And then as they read the blog, they read the article, and as I wrote in my blog, you just tweak it a little bit and just make sure that you make it more and more relevant to your business, to their business. They go, we want them to do this. As they're going down the blog, they're going, I've got that problem. That's me. I don't want to be like that. Okay, I need to do these things. I don't know how to do these things. Right, who do I contact? That's how we want people to read the blogs,
Definitely. And you mentioned this article you've written. So for those of you watching, you may be on the page with the article on it, and we always embed these videos with the associated article. But if you're watching this on YouTube or maybe you're watching a snippet on social media, the link to the article Ian mentioned will be, I don't know, maybe above or below or somewhere around this video, depending on your platform, right? So definitely suggest you check that out. Speaking of that article, Ian, one of the things that you mentioned in that article is you gave a list of tips, right, for taking this vendor supplied content or this partner supplied content from, you mentioned Microsoft or Content MX or something like that, and kind of tailoring it for your audience. And I kind of wanted to get into those 4 key points that you mentioned. The first one being the content model, right? Which, correct me if I'm wrong, came down to who's your customer, who's your market, right?
Yeah. So the content model or the marketing model is the way that you provide support from someone who's cold, who comes into your world. They need IT. They then bump into your model, okay, and then they say to you that you clearly explain to them the problems that they've got, what problem under each. I'll explain in a minute what problem comes under each each area, and then how you solve it. So let me give you for example. One of our clients works in the healthcare sector, and the number one. So I said to him, okay, what are the 4 or 5 things that really matter in the healthcare sector? So he said, okay, security, availability, data security and control, cybersecurity, that type of thing, data
sovereignty.
Lost, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
User training and like innovations and things like that. I said, okay, out of those 4 or 5 different things, go to your target client or your niche and ask them what's the most important thing. And the most important thing that they care about is availability. If they get in and the IT is not working, you can't book a patient in, you can't, put someone in for an operation or any of these types of things. So the number one things about that. So if all of a sudden he created a pillar post blog, so like a real high level blog about why availability in your healthcare business is the number one thing that we help you with, or you can, the subject around that, bang, you've hit them right between the eyes. And they're going to start reading it. So what we do is we we talk about the marketing model with the IT experts world, and we get them to talk about, okay, what are the 5 things? And it normally is, in fairness, availability, as I've just mentioned, security, innovation, strategy. There can be many different things. And it's like when someone comes into your world, you go, oh, it's the Ian way of doing IT. And this is how we do it. Okay, you've got to remember that when people come towards you as an MSP, they're coming towards you because you're the expert and they haven't got a clue.
Right.
So you need to put your arm around them and then guide them and then start to saying to them, look, hey, this is how we do it. Oh, brilliant. And it's a bit like that, our profit builder says, this is how we do it. Okay. And this is the things that matter to you. But the trick that people miss with is that when you create this model, when you create the things that matter to your target market, that's how you then create content. And that's how you then tailor the content, because these are the things that care about. People come into our world, everybody wants leads. Okay.
Right.
If I had a bag of leads, and I gave them to every MSP who said they wanted some leads, they'd fall over because their operations aren't right. But I'm not going to sell anything that's operations, because operations is boring. As far as they're concerned, everything's fine, everything's in place. But it takes a little while to go through that, whether it be through an audit, which you can do, or an assessment or a checklist or anything like that, to go, hang on a minute, what would happen if this? And some really great questions. So build the model out. This is what we call the marketing model, your content model. Have some pillars, some key pieces that you can use the Microsoft content for as a structure, but make it personable. And then all of a sudden you could put this up on your website or on your social media, and you can go, this is what matters to you because we know, because we're the experts, and these are the subjects and the kind of the USPs and the kind of the so what statements that help. And that's what that content model is all about. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's definitely very foundational when you start talking about marketing to your target audience, right?
Yeah.
And which kind of brings us to the next part of the puzzle, right? The next key tip for reaching your audience and talking to your audience, and that is shortcutting the creation, right? Because I mean, you and I have both done a lot of content. We both know that if we wanted to, we could spend 16 hours a day on content and still not have it all created, right? I mean, that's just the nature of content. It's never ending. But what are some of your recommendations on shortcutting that content creation process for, the MSP, right?
Yeah. So we've got we overthink content. Everybody overthinks content. Yep. And I had a great chart on one of our masterclasses, which was how to create 24 pieces of content from a blog. And basically, if you take the pillar content, the pillar subjects, let's just take availability. Let's come up with 3 things. So we're going to write a blog about why availability is important in your healthcare business. Okay. So, IT availability is important in your healthcare business. So we're going to come up with 3 things. Okay. And I'm just going to make these up now. Number 1 is going to be like, security of the network and making sure you've got, a good internet signal, for example, so a good network. Yep. Second one would be user training to make sure people don't lock the machines out, and the third one could be around your hardware. Okay, so we've got those three areas there. So that could be a blog. 3 tips in the blog how to get the best data. But all of a sudden you've got 3 things. So that's actually one blog is now 3 blogs. And if we then say, let's take a blog. Let's do a little audio snippet. Oh, so that's 6 pieces. Let's do a video. Oh, now we've got 9. Because what we do is we put a call to action on the hardware, the Wi-Fi signal, and your user training. If user training is important to your business, blah blah blah, read this blog. Right. If you haven't got the right hardware, this is going to affect your availability. Read this video. And then by the time you've gone down blog, meme, video, a little PowerPoint snippet is an amazing thing to do on LinkedIn. So try this as a little tip. Upload when you're posting on LinkedIn, get a PowerPoint file and just put it in as if like attach it. And when it comes up on your phone, it will swipe the pages going across the phone on LinkedIn, and it looks different. And that's what we're trying to do. Is it looks different, and before you know it, audio, video, podcast, a blog. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24. By the time we've got it, and then all of a sudden we've got all these different types of all the same message, all the same call to action, and making sure that in lots of different ways. So we overthink content, but the best way you can get content and to create content is go and have a chat with your help desk at the end of the week. Hey guys, what went really well this week?
Right.
Oh, hey, I fixed this, I fixed that, and I fixed this. Right. What was an absolute howler? Oh man, this person didn't have any firewalls or anything turned on, and look what happened. Right. Let's write a blog about it. Let's go over and talk about this. And there are situations that are live in your business right now, and they're situations that you just write about, and well, it's happened. You can't get any more real than something happening. You haven't even got to make it up.
Right. Exactly.
Using the content, the Microsoft content, and other things like that. You could use that as a structure, but then you embed your nuances on top, and it makes it super powerful.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned the help desk angle, because I don't know. I've often felt like the help desk in the MSP is often like one of the unsung heroes of the business, right?
Oh man, they are.
Because not only are they solving your customers' day-to-day issues, but there's just so much other value to be pulled from that department, right? Like this example here, right? So definitely glad to see you mention that.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. So next item we have on the list here is to post consistently, which that tip is very self-explanatory, at least to me, but I know a lot of MSPs that struggle with that because, they don't have the marketing expertise in most cases. They don't know what tools are available out there, and they're just busy. They got problems to solve, customers to talk with, the funnel to manage, So what are your tips there for helping MSPs post consistently?
So it is, as you say, it's pretty obvious. But the reason, the number one thing that people struggle with is the amount of content. So, you don't need a bucket load of content. If you came up with 30 posts, and I've just told you how to get 24 from one subject, that could be a month's worth of content, and then you could just repurpose that every single month. Now, this is going to be a bit of a shock, and some of you are going to get a bit upset about this. Not every one of your connections is going to see every one of your posts.
Truth.
So,
truth.
if you're not posting consistent, I was gutted when someone went on my website and I said, "Did you see this?" And they went, "No." And I went, "Well, how could you not have? I mean, I put it on there. Did you not go for every?" No, they don't.
Yeah.
So different algorithms, the different time that you connect with people and things like that. But I'll tell you what, if you're not posting it out, if you're not posting content out there, they ain't going to see it. So the most important thing is keep it consistent. There'll be some that resonate. Some people will like and comment. Some of it will get nothing, but the more and more over time you keep putting the content out there, put some posts about you. Just, hey, look, got a new van, we've got a new vehicle, we've got a new employee, selfies. People love all that. So just been for a run. That was one of my best posts, actually, was when I went for a run and just was knackered. It was about setting the day up. And it was crazy. People going, "Oh, brilliant, great to see you out there, Ian," and all that. Think about that, as I say, all the staff things. What's going on in the business. Reshare other people's posts, not very often, but reshare opinion pieces. But the trick with this, if there's something in the news, put your opinion on it before you share it. Don't just hit the share button and go bang, because people are going, "Okay, is this interesting to me?" You go, "Hey, I've just read this report. It's really interesting. I think point 4 was amazing. It really resonated with me. Check it out." Tell people what you want them to do on social media, but be consistent. You can use tools. There is an argument. Some of it affects the reach, but do you know what? Any reach is better than no reach. So if you're going to use a tool like Hootsuite or anything like that, others I'm sure are available, then just use it, but just get that base content and start getting it out there and start getting a feel for what people like.
Definitely. Good advice. So that kind of leads into the last and final point here, and that is measure, right? Measure. So many people go ahead and start doing this new initiative, and then they forget to see, were we successful, right? So I mean, what are your suggestions there for how people should measure and why, right?
Again, it's measure what matters, and don't get paralysis by analysis and trying to measure absolutely everything. If someone hits the like button on LinkedIn on your post, that's a really great thing. It means someone's resonated with it. If they comment, it's even better. If they share it, go marry them. But what I'm saying is there's a hierarchy here of what we need to do, and just see what resonates, see what works. See, you can check the impressions. You can check, whether it be video on YouTube, whether it be on Facebook. LinkedIn company pages do give some quite good analytics. The only thing with a company page, it's a slower burn than normally for bigger businesses. So if you're under 10 or 15 employees, keep going on your personal page, because people buy from people, remember. build up your company page. Your company page will grow, but people don't go out there and go, hey, I'd love to work for Ian's company. Doesn't work like that. It's what you're putting out on the social. So measure real high level, measure what's going out, measure what kind of interactions you're getting on it. And then also tell people what you want them to do. If you don't put on a blog or you don't put on an article, hey, if you want a free help desk, a free audit or a free this or a free that, call the office or drop a message here. If you don't put that on any of your posts, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. So tell them what you want them to do. If you want to get in contact to talk about how we can make you, more efficient, or we can prevent you from having those horror stories with your current MSP or IT provider, give us a call, drop me a message, fill out this form, book, whatever it might be. So call to action, CTA, absolutely critical. And again, you can put these on the bottom of the Microsoft. You can make it exactly, your blog, and then your call to action at the bottom, make it nice and personal, but link it back to the pain that you had at the beginning of the article.
Definitely. Yeah, that CTA is so important, right? So it's like, what are we trying to help you with, right? So definitely, it's fantastic advice.
100%.
Well, hey, Ian, I appreciate you taking the time to go through all these bullet points, and
no problem.
Appreciate you writing the article for us. A lot of great content there. How can people reach you if they have follow-up questions?
So if you've got any questions whatsoever, just head over to our website at innovate2success, tosuccess.com, or just type Ian Luckett in LinkedIn, and you'll find me on there. You can drop me a message on there, and you will find all different ways to call to action, book a call, message me, email me, whatever you want, whatever way suits you best. Or you could just email me, ian@innovate2success.com. That's it. More than happy to help out. Any questions at all. And if we don't know, we'll find someone who can help you.
That sounds good. Well, Ian, I appreciate you taking the time to, like I said, share your knowledge with us today. Really appreciate having you on. We'll have to have you on for another future video as well.
No problem at all. My pleasure.
Definitely. And then those of you watching, thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to check out our other educational content on the dojo. Again, you can reach the dojo at altero.com/dojo. And you can just pick your poison from there. It's getting easier to basically mention all the things we don't cover on the dojo, as opposed to the things we do. So just some quick hitters. We've got MSP content like this, but we also have content on Hyper-V, Microsoft 365, VMware, backup and recovery, lots more. So other than that, be sure to check out our social media handles. I've got those, again, listed somewhere around this video. And with that, we'll let you get back to your day. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.